If you are looking how to add and edit overlays to your videos like the ones we made previously, we will be going into Final Cut Pro, Davinci Resolve, and iMovie to show you how. We'll also show how to position the overlays and how to add a fade in fade out effect using basic keyframing. Hi everyone, we are the WindyCityTwins, and if you are new to the channel, we focus on sharing YouTube tips, social media strategy, and ways to build an online presence.
Consider subscribing right now as we aim to upload one video each week on Sundays, and watch until the end of this video so you know what our next one will be about. Let's get into the video.
Okay, the first step is to import your overlays into the editing software. In our case, we have already done this, but if you haven't, you'd simply go to File, Import, Media, and locate your overlays to import them. Once that is done, it is best to add some type of sample video footage like we have done in our timeline. We will be placing an Instagram overlay as well as a Twitter overlay on top of our video in the timeline. You'll notice that the overlay defaults to the center position on the screen, which isn't ideal, so we have to adjust our positioning. To do this in Final Cut, we must go to our Video Inspector menu and adjust the X and Y position so that our overlays are at the bottom of the screen. We will move the Twitter overlay to -710 on the X position and -575 on the Y. For our Instagram overlay, our X position will be 710 and our Y position will be -575, so both are even horizontally. Depending on the color scheme of the overlays you decide to use in the actual video itself, you may need to maneuver the overlays accordingly so they can be visible. Now for some of you, you might stop right here and be satisfied. However, we will now show you how to do some quick keyframing so your overlays will fade in and fade out versus popping in and out. If you're a beginner, you might not know what keyframing is. To quickly go over it, it allows you the ability to animate something over a time period in a specific way. Now that we have given some clarity on keyframing, we will go over the process. Start by clicking on one of the overlays. We will choose Twitter. Next, adjust the duration to 7 seconds. To do this, click Ctrl D and then type in 700 and finally hit Enter. Do the same right now for the Instagram overlay. Next, we will go into the keyframing process for the fade in. Start off by moving the playhead across 1 second. Okay, now in the Video Inspector, locate where it says Opacity and click on the Add a Keyframe button. Now move the playhead to the starting point of the overlay and move the opacity slider to the left until it says 0%. You'll notice now that the overlay has a fade-in effect. We'll also add a fade-out effect using the same concepts. Okay, now to complete the fade out effect, you will want to move the playhead to the 6-second mark of the overlay and click the Add a Keyframe button. Next, slide the playhead to the end of the overlay and slide the opacity to 0. Now play it back and you'll see you've just created the fade in, fade out effect for the first overlay. Our next step is to quickly apply this to the other overlay. Don't worry, you won't have to repeat the process as there is a shortcut that we will show you. Simply click on the overlay that already has the fade in, fade out effects. Now we are going to copy the overlay, or you can click Command C to do this. Now click on the other overlay and we are going to paste the attributes. Next, uncheck the position box and hit the paste button. We will play it back once more to confirm they both have the effects. Of course, you can manipulate these fades to your preference, but hopefully these concepts were easy to follow. We will now move into Davinci Resolve. Okay, we are in Davinci Resolve, and the first step is to import some sort of media into the timeline, as we have done here. Next, you want to import the overlays you are going to use. We will be using the Facebook and YouTube overlays we made from our previous video. Just like in Final Cut, you want to drag these on top of the media in your timeline so they appear. Now we will adjust our positioning, which is almost identical to how we did this in Final Cut. You'll want to click on each overlay and adjust the X and Y positions. We will put the Facebook overlay at -550 for the X position and -450 for the Y position. For the YouTube overlay, we will put 550 for the X position and -450 for the Y position. Once that is done, we will switch the duration to 7 seconds for both overlays. Simply go up to the clip menu and select change clip duration and then type in the time 7 seconds. Click the change button on the screen or hit enter on your keyboard to confirm the change. Now that the time is set, we will do the keyframing similar to how we did it in Final Cut. Drag the playhead 1 second into the overlay clip. Next, click on one of the overlays and under the inspector menu, locate the opacity section and click the rhombus shape to set a keyframe. Now slide the playhead to the beginning and drag the opacity slider to 0 to complete the keyframe. The fade in effect was completed and we will now do the fade out effect. Drag the playhead to 6 seconds and click the rhombus shape. Next, drag the playhead to 7 seconds and drag the opacity slider to 0. Now the fade in, fade out effect is complete. Now we will simply copy and paste the attributes to the other overlay. So go ahead and copy the overlay we worked on and then click into the other overlay and go up to where it says edit. Now select paste attributes and then click the checkbox next to opacity. Now both overlays will be synchronized. Again, you can personalize the timing to your liking, but this is the process you will use to do so. Before we go into iMovie, we just want to say that iMovie doesn't allow you to include 2 overlays, but there is a workaround that we will demonstrate for you. With that being said, let's get into the process. The first step for you will be to import media just like we did in Final Cut and Davinci Resolve. Next, import the overlays you'd like to use. We are choosing Instagram. Now we will also drag in another overlay to demonstrate that it is impossible to add multiple overlays in iMovie at one time without the workaround. As a result of this, we will delete the second overlay we added for now and we will focus on the Instagram overlay. First, switch the overlay to picture-in-picture. Next, switch the time in the dissolve section to 1 second. Once that is complete, go to the cropping menu and get rid of the Ken Burns style and select Fit. Now go back to the video overlay setting menu and increase the size of the overlay to whatever you like, then move it where you'd like on your video. Our final step is to change the duration of the overlay to 7 seconds by adjusting in the timeline. Our next objective will be to add in another overlay while ensuring the size of both are equal as well as the settings so everything synchronizes nicely. First, drag in the overlay you'd want like we are here. Then click on the overlay we already adjusted, then hit Command-C to copy the overlay. Now select the other overlay and go up to where it says Edit, Paste Adjustments, and then select All. This transfers the same settings aside from the timing of the overlay, which we will do manually by sliding it to 7 seconds. Now position the overlay toward the bottom right hand corner while doing your best to make sure it is even with the other one. Now we will cut this overlay by hitting Command X, or you could go up top and click Edit then Cut. Now click the share button in the upper right hand corner and select File. Next, adjust the settings to your liking. We will adjust the quality to Best ProRes and compress it to a better quality. After this, select Next and name what you'd like to save the file as and where. In our case, we will use our 4TB Lacy drive, which we have linked to in the description if someone needs a good external hard drive. After saving it, delete whatever is in the timeline. Next, import the file you just saved and drag it into the timeline. You'll notice the overlay is in the clip. Our goal now is to ensure the overlays start and stop at the same time. Paste in the other overlay clip we cut earlier by hitting Command V. Now we will simply maneuver the overlay clip until both overlays start and stop at the same time. Once that is done, we will save the file and show that your videos can indeed have two overlays with a little extra work in the editing process. If your overlays don't start and stop at the same time, just let us know in the comments down below and we'll do our best to try to answer your question. Also, we have a quick question for you. How do you like to use overlays? Let us know in the comments below. We'd be very interested to know. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified about our next video.
It will be covering how to add a screen recording from your phone and placing it within a phone overlay, as will be shown in the next clip. And remember, as we learn, you earn.
We will see you in the next one.